in 5, 2 minutes. Where's the screen? There it is. What's up, everybody?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, July 16th. It is 90-something degrees outside. We are nice inside of central air, so no worries for us.
And we're matching today.
Look at this. Unplanned, too. Crazy. We should change our brand colors to green. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to go from yellow to green.
Actually, it's green day because I have green tea.
Oh, crazy. I'm looking for something green, panically. No, nothing. My shirt. Not a green person. Our son, his favorite color is green. I try to convince him otherwise, but he's stuck on it. Kind of cool, like the shirt over the thing. We both have shirts. I don't have a necklace or anything on.
Good
I know. Sometimes I wear that spider one you got. All right. Today, the confetti's behind us because we don't have the OBS set up to confetti things. Maybe on our 50th, I'm going to get it up there running Reina. But today's WordPress 6.6 release. Woo!
Yeah, we're excited to go over it today and just go point out some key features that are new. We're going to kind of unravel this together live.
Yeah, we are. I have not downloaded it, even in beta. I've been working with 6.5 since a few months ago. So the ones I do see, like the features, are pretty cool. And it's actually a reveal to Reina because Reina doesn't know some of the things. And I think that she'll find some of them really helpful.
Yeah, wasn't it the official release was yesterday, right?
No, it says July 16th is the official. Maybe last night they released it. Yeah, but every time they release it, they have beta modes where you can download them from GitHub, install it to test it out, and fix things if you want to. So we could have been ahead of the curve. But they release them so often, every few months, until there's a major release. So WordPress 7 will be, I think, next year or something. So before any further ado, let's play our intro, and then we'll be back with some facts. It's a little long. Maybe I'll shorten it. So WordPress 6.6. I just want to say a little bit about WordPress before we start. I was writing this last night too. WordPress is what we build on. If we get a new site, that's what we're building it on. That's our choice. If somebody comes to us with different sites, such as Drupal, maybe Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, we are able to help, consult, fix, build on it even, but our choice is WordPress because it's open source, it's fast, there's plenty of options, it's code-based, PHP-based. I'm a PHP developer, CSS for Reina, so everything is what we need in this. That's why we concentrate on it so much. Some developers don't. Some people like bare bones stuff, and that's great for them. For us, our clients, the best experience has come with WordPress because they're able to jump in. And the things that I'm going to explain here are some of what our clients actually do, jumping in, making pages. So we make it easy for them to build on templates so they don't have to come back to us sometimes to make something simple or make an edit, things like that. So some systems aren't like that. You have to go back to the developer or know how to code. I think I'm losing my voice. All right, so the first thing, Reina, is let's see if this is the right screen. I mean,
say before you jump into it, this is the native block editor that we're going over without any type of page builders or anything like that.
Yeah,
the most ideal framework to build for SEO.
Yeah, but what's going to surprise you about this first fact is that block patterns are now available in Classic Editor. Who knew? I know.
What?
Yeah, so you can make, that's what this is showing here.
This is a game changer.
Yep, you can make a block pattern and export it as JSON into a Classic Editor and then still have editing access to there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I am not a fan of the Classic Editor. I say once you move on with Gutenberg. That's the new editor that you see here on the screen. Classic Editor, I'll just editor WordPress. I'll show you what that looks like really quick. you can see it's more like a WYSIWYG. It's more like a Word doc. So it has all the tools there, really helpful, simple because they're all at the top. But WordPress has now made it this. And for some people, this isn't the way, but this does make it a lot easier, a lot faster once you get the hang of it. But the thing is that you can create it here and now drop it right into the classic editor for clients that are used to classic editor stuff.
Yeah, and when I like classic editor has an extreme followers in
They
the
do.
sense of like fan base
Fans.
because
Fans.
there are people and developers, and I totally understand it. I'm not trying to say anything, but they felt torn, like something was taken from them. The fact that WordPress made them change to block editor and cannot give up classic editor. They are just used to it. They're already in their own routine that's most efficient and have a real hard time adapting to block editor. So I'm curious to see the new features and stuff. I'm a little bit like bewildered why they're making accommodations to classic to still use classic editor when they've advanced past it.
Well, I read about it. It did say that they're doing it for the backflow sites that just haven't upgraded, that can't upgrade, that are just on using classic editor. And if they upgrade to the newest Gutenberg or whatever, or just like some of the clients that you have, they're used to it. I don't know the true reasons, but those are the ones that is said in the article. So that's what they're doing. So I guess it still exists. I know. I know, it's weird. Well, I guess it would make it be like we create the blocks and then they can use those in the classic themes or classic editor.
I wonder how that looks. I feel like it might be glitchy, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll try it out later. Next one, we'll skip that. That one's done. I'm not a big fan of that one. Whatever. Synced pattern overrides. This is pretty cool. These screenshots don't explain everything. It's probably better with a video, but to explain it really simply, on WordPress, you can sync a pattern. So pretty much say, this is this CTA, anywhere it is throughout the site. If I make a change on one of them, it's going to make a change on all of them. So if you want to change the button to say, go here to go now, all of the instances of that will change. Now you can actually take little parts of it and change just those parts and have those parts synced across, or have other parts not synced across. So maybe titles, say like it's on a certain page and it's about whether you're selling bicycles, and this page is about bicycles and you want a picture of a bicycle, but on other ones you still want that whole pattern to sync, but you don't want the picture to be the same. You can do that now. So it's like variations of this also seems to be complicated.
You can make an update and it can update on all of them, but if you create a variation, you can choose which one with an image and one without.
Pretty much, yeah. You can set different parts of a synced pattern to not sync, pretty much. So it's almost going the opposite way.
Good, yeah. Because this is something that the classic editor doesn't have. And that's why I'm trying to push the block editor, really, because there are so many more features, so many more ways that you can update your content across the board, and it will save time.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the classic. I don't know. We should do a petition to ban it. But this is really helpful. This is a case for organization, I believe. When you start to get into big sites and there's fields that could be named the same things, or blocks or patterns, you really have to. I use something called a BEM method, which is block element modifier. Even in titling, I'll name it what the block is, if there's an element that I'm doing, and a modifier. The more you are organized in that, the best suited you are to come back to it and to know what the heck you did. So even with these, which is going to be like subsections of patterns, I can see this getting complicated if you don't organize very well.
Yeah, and another scenario for the CTA global sync pattern is, let's say there's a global change in the phone number, the company name, or even just the logo, to be able to create a pattern and then go back to that one place and just update it.
Yeah,
that'll save so much time in the long run.
Yeah, it's efficiency. So that's cool. I'm a fan of that one. So 1 out of 2. Next one. Oh, this is a cool one. This is a real cool one. It's showing custom fields here, like the actual WordPress custom fields. But as long as the custom field is set to show in UI, I believe it is. So that is ACF or any of these bigger plugins that we use to manage custom content and custom fields that are associated to that content. Now you can use these custom fields, which I've been using a plugin for. Before that, I was using custom shortcodes and writing the code. But now you can actually call these custom fields right inside of the layout. So just for a site we're working on, it's Artique, it's a local co-op. They have vendors, and these vendors each have a Facebook profile or what else is on there? A bio, gallery they're going to have.
Yeah, social media links.
Yeah. So when you start adding those to this custom content, the way to get it into the theme would be to use a certain plugin. You don't got to do that anymore, which is really cool. And I'm very excited to use it today. I'm going to do that tonight.
So I have a question. So this replaces ACF?
No, it's going to be an add-on. So if you create all the stuff on ACF, like the custom, say for Artique, we created the vendors, that's the post type. And then the fields were like the social media. You'll be able to access those social media without that weird plugin that does those short codes right in the theme itself. So when you say, oh, I want to show the social media here, you just right click and choose, see on the right where it says attributes, post meta. That's where it's going to show the available, I believe, fields that you can pull from. So it's not going to replace ACF. It's an add-on to ACF to make it really play well with the block theme, which is great because I've been using short codes before, which is code, which is fine. And then I found this plugin. I'm not a big fan of plugins in general, but it just did what it did, and it did it well to a point. But I like native stuff, so it's great that this is going to be native, or it is native. We'll see how it works, because there's a lot of things that sometimes you need, and these things don't, because if you set a URL in one field and a title in the other, and you got to combine them and make the title the link, we'll see. Developer problems. So that's cool. 2 out of 1, or whatever, 2 out of 3. Here's a good one. Negative margins, which I guess were available in the theme.json before, but now they're going to be available right in the UI. So that negative margin means for a designer that you can make things go the opposite way. So whether it's going up, like above the limit of the box that it's in, or to the left of it, or to the right, that's now possible. Not cool. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be really helpful. But still, there's no mobile settings here.
So otherwise, we do this in CSS.
Yeah, exactly. I would do this in CSS, especially adding like a media query, because once this thing is 80 pixels pushed from its bottom, it's going to be the same thing on mobile too, which might look good, but most cases things shift.
So prior to this update, if you put negative, nothing would happen?
Wouldn't even let you put the negative, just the numbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Never even tried it.
I feel like try. That's why.
Really? Yeah, this one at least. If there was a plugin, you might have been able to do it, but the actual native dimensions weren't able to be negative. That just made a.
Yeah, just wondering.
Yeah, you might have put it in, but it didn't work. So that's a cool one. I like that. But again, we usually do this in CSS, but it really it goes along with that whole, hey, client, now you can do this and really mess up your site. You have the ability to mess up your site, and you have the ability to do the things that a designer and a developer does, given the right amount of talent, at least. Or not talent, maybe just like how you see it.
I think the knowledge to know where you could go if you want to update the margins.
Yeah, definitely.
Analytics could only do it with desktop, of course, but.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why. I think that has to be next. Maybe it's gonna be WordPress 7. And again, I found this amazing plugin that I really want to promote. I feel like I love it so much. It's lightweight. It really gives those options of that Elementor and Divi and anything for a client to use and say, on mobile, I want this to have a smaller font. You can't do that on WordPress right now, you know?
Yeah, I think it's coming because they're moving more towards that page builder, giving us all the fields to be able to update, similar to like page builder without the use of CSS or anything. So
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I think it's taking so long. I feel like that's
No,
just that one update.
You'd have felt like
waiting
they
for.
would have done it already.
Yeah.
They haven't. Next one. This is kind of a cool one. You can set custom shadows now. So if you have a custom color and a custom position of the shadow and the thickness and the spread of it, you can, yeah, you can set it here and then save it. That's new. They did have some saved, which I always found is weird. Like they had used these 6 of them, and, or even, I don't know, I think it was 1 and add the settings, but like, why not have your own shadows? So if it's something with your branding that you always have a shadow on and you want something to pop, here's the place to be. This one's not that impressive. So grid block is impressive, I believe, though. Look at this grid, right, Reina?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do all fancy things in here. So they introduced the flex box and rows and columns a while ago, but now you see this new icon here that looks like a grid.
Yeah, that's new.
So you can do, I haven't really clicked around here, and obviously this is an image, so I can't click it, but manual, I'm excited to see what that does. I'm sure there's more options here about the rows and columns. So
yeah, this is just the design style now. Like we're seeing a lot more grids and modern designs.
Yep.
And now you're able to like do this with almost just out of the box.
Yeah, and one thing, I didn't put it here, I did read though that everything supposedly has the option to have a background image, even groups.
Really?
So that would be that whole, if you saw a grid and you're scrolling by and you can have a parallax image that stays there while you scroll, kind of like those that you found before, but in a grid format is even better than a flex because you have more options, especially when it comes to responsiveness, bigger or smaller. So that's a cool one. I like that one. Grid block for the win. They're changing, these last two are actually, they're changing the way, I know everybody probably loves this because they already hate the way things change so much in WordPress. On the left, you see the current. On the right, you see the new one. And you notice there's some things missing. One of the things that's missing is the excerpt. And now it actually has like a button that says add an excerpt and it pops out, which is a little weird, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's a simplified, so I guess I kind of like it that there's no tabs, you know? I don't like these tabs. I don't like to open things. I like to see everything on the page.
Yeah, they definitely consolidated and did more of a list.
Yep. They're always changing things. So, I mean, I think those are the most important. There's a lot of other ones. There's more technical ones that are out there that I think are more related to developers, theme.json file. There's features in there that allow you to do new and improved functionality with the interactivity API and other React-based components, but we don't need to get into that much. Let me close this down. The classic editor. My eyes. We have low internet.
I know. I was just checking. I was gonna close Slack.
Yeah, I just closed everything too. So I mean, that is what's going on in the WordPress world. We have not upgraded any of our sites yet. I think the first one I'll do it on will be freetonedigital.com. I like to do it on our own site. I like to do it on local environments. I don't do anything on production. I learned my lesson. Want to hear a quick story?
Sure.
Once upon a time when I worked for eBay, it was 10:30 at night and I did something wrong. And then I had 40 people calling me, not 40, it was like 4 people all at once. Tony, you need to fix this now. I was crying, literally cried. It was 10:30 on a Friday night. Not like I was going anywhere or had any plans, but they were so insistent that since I messed it up, that I had to fix it. And I was one of those, like, at the time, I knew what I knew, but I didn't know enough. It was about SSH and Vagrant, which is like a server and splitting up the traffic. It was the most stressful thing in the world to me.
Yeah, the fact that it's something you did and the moment of, oh, I should have never done it on the live environment. And of course you think it's a quick thing and then something happens and you take down the whole site.
Yeah, lesson learned. I mean, sometimes we do it on, oh, that's nice. We have a comment. What's up, Amit? Try to build a site with 6.6. It's amazing. And FSE is awesome, isn't it? We agree. Yeah.
That's great feedback. I do see the features and it being helpful for design and development, so it's great
Yeah.
to use it.
You know what's crazy, Amit? Like some people are just not on board with it yet. I feel like at the beginning, and you might feel the same way when they first introduced Gutenberg, it was such a big change, you know, and especially where it's come to now, the full site editor. And I know people, we can compare it to Wix and all these things that are builders, but it's much more smarter if you agree. And you obviously have much more control over it because you have access to all the files. So you can make it be what you want instead of relying on these proprietary systems that are like, you can do these things, you can drag and drop, and you can really mess up your site really quick. So
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
it's great on page performance, which is the best.
Yeah, that native, right? You can really trim it down. I've been looking at some of these code examples that people have just taken out. Our lights just fell out there.
We just saw our lights fall right before our eyes. Our page lights just fell.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Display grid is very helpful, just that the desktop and mobile versions will have the same column. I know. See, we didn't try the display grid yet, but we were just talking about that mobile issue with having those options inside of natively, at least. There's some tools out there that do it, but like you, I think I know you are because I was reading, I remember your face, how you like the purity of WordPress and not using so many plugins, you know? That's how we are too. So yeah, I think they're always fixing, you know. So I'm sure like the next,
Yeah, hopefully they come soon, like with the newest releases that it happens
yeah,
this year or maybe next year.
yeah, or maybe never.
We should ask.
Let's just move to Drupal. Come on, Amit. We're all going to Drupal from now on. We used to do Drupal. I used to do Drupal. Now when
I
the
used to
people
just
contact
edit
me,
Drupal.
that's right, you did. Now when they contact me, I'm like, I don't do Drupal anymore. Sorry. Yeah, we appreciate your comment and your interaction. Very cool. I do want to try the grid though. I'm excited to sit down tonight. And this is like how we have our fun. You, Amit, and anybody who's watching might be the same way as developers. Sometimes you just like to sit there with tea and headphones and chill hop and just mess with stuff locally. Like I like to do. Yeah, I like to just mess things up until it breaks, really, and then you know, oh, I did. That's what I did to break it. At least you know the steps you are able to hack, you know, or whatever. So
yeah, and it's great to be able to just get in there and test it out with our own stuff and our own ideas. So then we're ready to use it when we're implementing and developing with a client. We know what it can do, and we're already comfortable with the new interface. So.
yeah, that's true. That is weird. Not to bring it back in this display grid. So if you're still on there, you're saying those grids that they have, the ability to do those cool grids, they just keep it exactly like it is on mobile. It doesn't do any sort of columning, which is kind of crazy. I'm assuming what I would do, I mean, not you probably know, and you're not asking for help, but I'm just talking to Reina. I would probably add a class to the parent of it, and then in a media query, make sure those grids are 1FR, you know, all the way down, which means just taking up that one full. But yeah, it does kind of like, then you can't be as custom on a mobile site. It's just saying it's all in one column. So without some tweaking, it is a little useless, especially in terms of mobile. But for desktop, I wish we could just design for desktop. You know, earlier today, I was just thinking, I was showing my son, he's 6 years old, he's a little young for this, but CSS Zen Garden, which is like a site where they gave you the HTML, and then we displayed it on this live stream before, and then they say you can make any site you want with CSS, and there's a big gallery there. But what I noticed today is that this thing is so old, none of those sites are mobile. They're all just.
Oh wow! So yeah, it does look kind of like an older.
They're old.
An older website. They don't really update it.
They haven't. I don't. It says 11 years. The GitHub has not been updated. I know, it's crazy. And some of the styles are so old, like the grungy style with things like paint ripped. I used to love that style. I used to really want to design in that style, but our son was like, "What is that?" Looking at it, I'm like, "That's how websites used to look." It was cool. But yeah, there's no mobile on those, which is really weird. You would think. I guess not. I mean, 11 years ago, whatever. So hopefully WordPress gets that up and running. Thanks, Amit, for your comments.
Yeah, I always love feedback, and it
Yeah, it's really
always
helpful.
adds to the conversation and gets everything going.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So,
Nice.
we had a couple things today. We had a business referral group meeting.
Yeah,
That
so
was
we
cool.
meet with our friends at the Chamber of Commerce twice a month, and we had our meeting today. So it was first thing in the morning. That's why we didn't come on earlier.
Sorry.
But we're here now, so that's what matters. So
You're
yeah, we
welcome.
caught up with everyone, and it's a good group to be part of, especially this is what we do for a living, and also meeting other businesses locally and figuring out what they need help with. And we all provide updates on what's going on with our industry. So the group is evolving, and I think topics are going to change a bit, but I think it's definitely something it's worth going to and exploring.
Yeah, and we have another one tomorrow. It's called Network by 9.
Oh yeah, that's the early morning one.
Yeah, it starts at 7:45. There's food, which is the best part, and they group
That's
you.
why we're going. We're going for the food.
Yeah. I was just gonna take food and run out of there. They group you in these like social anxiety situations that they're like, explain yourself. What's your typical best client? What's the worst thing that can happen in your industry? And then you talk it out, you know? So not only is it great for networking and meeting, because we got like 2 leads from the last one, I think, maybe 1.5. This one's gonna be better because now we know how to talk to people because of these live streams, I think. Watch us be like crazy, like crying. I'll be throwing up on the table. But it's not only good for that like anxiety releasing stuff, it's really good to meet people that need our help, because I think what happens is people don't know they need our help, you know? And we see all these horrible, not even just websites, but branding and on the Facebook and all this stuff, and it's just crazy, you know? So I think there's a lot of people out there that need assistance like this. They don't know, and they don't know who to ask. They don't know if they go to someone, they're going to want to do their whole website over. They're going to charge $100,000 or whatever it might be, or they might give them a bad job and make it worse.
Yeah.
But I think our job is to show that we can jump into any situation. We can deliver a full product from start ideation to implementation to marketing after, or dive right in and say, no, I only want you to fix the SEO. I only want you to fix the mobile responsiveness. I only want you to fix X, Y, and Z. So that's just something I keep thinking in my head since the last few nights. And I just want to separate the two and denote that Three-Tone Digital can do all or just one thing. And we have no problem jumping in and doing just one thing, honestly.
Yeah, and it's not just about your website. Of course, that's what we deal with on the day to day, but a lot of times, which we're trying to get out there and see if we can make these connections, is you have an event or you're trying to create more efficiency within your business that has to do with digital. So that means creating a more digital presence for a specific trade show event. And we can kind of help with those campaigns, digital campaigns.
Yeah, anything that revolves around digital.
Yeah. I thought that was another comment, but
Oh no,
as I'm talking,
I was just,
me up.
I know, sorry. I was so appreciative of the comment that I had to display Amit's profile picture. We appreciate it again.
Yeah, so consulting, just talking out ideas or figuring out what is possible with your website. Those are also services that we provide, and look forward to just seeing how we can connect, or even just offering some ideas and things like that. That's always a good.
Yeah, because even when you offer ideas, it's happened multiple times now on Twitter, you get an idea back, you know, and I think that's humanity in general. When somebody helps you, usually, they're willing to help back. And I don't mean by I'm gonna do your site and you give me SEO, even just topics or just
And notice that on the circle tables they'll have like, okay, say your 30-second, but then they also say random, what is a problem that you're facing? And then everyone kind of goes around the room, and either if they have advice on how somebody can help with an issue, they provide that. So it's kind of like a live troubleshooting, learning about different people's perspectives and how they would move in a certain event. So it's definitely spontaneous. interesting. Meet a lot of people at once. I guess the only thing that I'm just like, is it's so hard to hear because there's so many people. So you're at this table and everyone's talking at once. So it's kind of like you got to really zone in to who's talking and then also project your voice. And so it's good practice for us, I think.
Yeah, that's a problem I have. The hearing. I have small eustachian tubes, and when there's a lot of noise, it gets muffled up. TMI. But you know what I was going to say when you said they go around the table, I said they're going to come to me and I'm going to be stuffing muffins in my mouth this time.
You're going to be like, pass.
I'll just like hold up my card. I'm busy.
It's like we need new cards too.
Oh my God. I know we have our old cards. They're in my pocket. I don't normally carry them like this, but they have our old Yikes logo on it.
I know. We should just get. I think I'm gonna create some.
And who's this angry guy with his twisted head? What is wrong with me? Thought that looked good. It's scary. Who said it? You're the one. You're like, oh, you look angry in that picture. I'm like, no, I don't.
Somebody else said it to you, and then I was like, oh, you kind of do.
Yeah, you live and you learn. I didn't notice. I was like, because if you look at me, I have a little bit of a smirk, like, but with the beard. I do. If you look, well, you can't tell by hair, but you just couldn't tell. And my mouth is weird anyways, obviously. So it's like my smile. When I smile, you can't tell. I just look angry. But anyways, we updated the pictures. We look a lot more friendly now. I've lost weight. We look more healthy. Stopped eating. What were we eating then? Cereal, maybe. Whatever got banned.
No more cereal. We're back to Whole Foods, vegetables, the farmers markets are happening. So
yeah, not even Whole Foods. I don't know.
Like Whole Foods.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Whole Foods is expensive. We don't go there.
Yeah, they have some good stuff. Yeah, like stuff you could buy at Whole Foods, you could buy at farmers market for the same price. Yeah. It probably is actually more wholesome. Amazon. Yeah. I heard that Jeff Bezos actually delivers the food to each Whole Foods in the morning. Did you know that?
Are you joking? Or?
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh. So tomorrow, not to jump ahead, but
please.
Tomorrow is National Hot Dog Day. Oh. And I'm only saying that because Tony likes hot dogs.
I do. You had a craving for you. Yeah, she wanted hot dogs the other day, so
I did crave a hot dog, and it's nice out summer. It's kind of like a barbecue. Sometimes you just,
I love, what my favorite hot dog is? Oh, let's test you. Yeah.
What is it? I'm trying to remember. Unis?
No.
Wait, Uni? No, that's the area. Yeah. What's it?
Oh, I see. Oh, I know you're close. So I was thinking of another hot dog place, but you're talking about, they have wieners there.
Oh.
Onlyville wieners. That's not my favorite, even though that's like blasphemy. I know. It's totally Rhode Island blasphemy to say. I will say I love their wieners all the way. They call them, I don't know what they call them, something else, with chocolate milk. Amazing. But honestly, I think my favorite hot dog place is Spike's. Remember Spike's hot dogs?
Is that here?
No, they had them on Thayer Street. They had one in Cranston. They had one in the mall.
Remember we went there? There was like a fire.
Yeah, that's right. It was a fire. We sat there for a second though. We probably shouldn't have.
And then we saw smoke and we ran out. They actually evacuated everything.
Yeah, that was like the only time we ever went. Then we had it at the Emerald Square Mall too. But they had the Chicago dog, which is weird because I love Chicago stuffed pizza. I love Chicago dogs. Never been to Chicago. Where they put, it was like a jalapeno and pickle on it. Oh my God, it's so good. Spikes.
There's a lot of cool national days tomorrow. I won't jump ahead because then we can't talk about it tomorrow.
Tell us one more.
It's National Tattoo Day.
Oh, crazy.
We're gonna go to go get a tattoo. Let's get a three-tone tattoo.
Right on my head, the icon.
No, we won and then we connect.
We'd have to know a side to connect it up.
I don't know, but
three-tone digital. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's talk about tattoo today tomorrow because we can probably relate.
We should do the live stream and then go get tattoos.
Let's do the live stream while we're getting the tattoos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea. Reina's always thinking. So, you have anything else you want to give a final word today on this WordPress 6.6 beautiful day?
Yeah, I'll do a final word.
All right, let me take Amit's 15 minutes of fame off. Thank you again, Amit. Much helpful. I'll return the favor. All right, get this going. We got Reina's final word.
Oh,
Remove
yeah,
this.
confetti.
No, I gotta remove that. Looks a little crazy.
Oh,
You want the confetti back?
no, that's fine.
Okay. And I'll put on some background Kid A music, Radiohead. That was one of the best albums in the world. Reina, stage is yours.
All right, today's final word is really summing up everything we learned today, is to make sure to take time and learn something new. Invest in yourself, and that will be like a ripple effect and will help you throughout your workday, and it's just good for your brain. So take some time and invest in yourself. And just like we did today, learning something new, it doesn't take long, but it does help a lot.
So nice. Yeah, and never stop learning, no matter what age you are. That's my opinion.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna play us out of here. Let's raise the roof with some Kid A, and have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.